Pack your bags, let's take a ride. 5 minutes flat and we'll explore the wide with Forrest Kelly. It's travel time. It's the best 5-minute travel podcast. Let's go!
We continue to talk travel with James Hammond, travel extraordinaire and host of Winging It Travel Podcast.
8 weeks across Canada, then another 7 weeks across USA. So nearly 4 months in our camper van.
You rented the camper van?
No, we own one. We have a converted Toyota Sienna, gutted out at the back with a bed, and it's got a little kitchen at the back of the van. It kind of fits a double bed, probably just about comfortable if you're 6'2" or 3 or under. If you're taller than that, it can get pretty cozy.
That's pretty cramped. Let's hit some highlights across Canada and the United States.
Cool. Okay, so let's go with Canada. I'm going to say Tofino on Vancouver Island. That's a highlight. Puckasaw National Park, it's in Ontario. And then the Cabot Trail, which is in Nova Scotia, right on the east coast. So like the last hurrah on the mainland. Those are pretty special. If you want a city, maybe, probably Toronto. And Montreal was pretty cool.
Toronto's kind of a hit and miss. People I've talked to say either love it or hate it.
Yeah, it probably helped. We had some friends there. So maybe that helped, right? I can imagine it's quite intimidating if you're on your own.
Right. So traveling across, and you didn't have to deal with weather because, it's summer.
Yeah, summer. It did get quite hot in the van. So that was a thing, especially in the July period, because our van is not very new. It's like 20 years old, 24 years old, I think. So the fan and aircon is not the best. So we did struggle at the start. But yeah, in terms of like rain or cold weather, not really right until the end.
Well, that's part of all part of winging it. Is just you got to overcome those little things and move on to another issue. Out of Nova Scotia, then you curled around East Coast and came west in the United States.
Yeah, so we came down through Maine, and then we got into Connecticut. Had a base there in Darien, which is a random place, but that enabled us to go to Salem, and then we did Boston, popped to New York City as well, and then went to Woodstock, or Bethel Woods, and New Paltz in upper state, New York. And then we hugged the I-95 across. That was the road we chose. So that took us through the middle part, like South Dakota and Wyoming and stuff like that, and Yellowstone. So that's pretty amazing.
As a foreigner coming to the United States and traveling, what is the tone of the American people dealing with you? It's not probably as maybe standoffish as the French when you go to France, maybe, or are they welcoming, or are they standoffish, or are they rude?
No, I found it completely welcoming. Yeah, I think especially the American RV community, they are really nice. When you park up at campsites, you're more likely going to be probably parked with someone who's doing it for a longer term, right? They're probably Americans who've got their own big RV unit, and they're driving maybe north or south depending on the weather. But I think that community is really nice, and they help you out, and they offer firewood, or they even offer snacks, even some drinks. So that community is really nice. And then in general, we really had no problems. I was actually a bit anxious before going to USA because I wasn't sure what the reaction was going to be, but actually everyone was pretty cool. I had no problems whatsoever. I actually can't think of a time apart from the very last night, and that is a story, where we had any problems. So I think all in all, very positive experience. I'll tell you something else actually that was on my mind, or on our minds, which might sound random to you, is that we were worried for the van getting broken into, which might sound a bit crazy, but when you hear stories of San Francisco, for example, where people just can't stop breaking into cars.
Yeah.
You think, is that the same across all the states? Or if we go near a big city, is it going to be at risk of being broken into? That was probably a thing as well.
Even though you're traveling kind of on the down low and you're not being ostentatious with your vehicle, as you said, 20 plus years old. So it's okay, what you see, there's nothing really to take here. But
sure,
it's still in the back of your mind that when you're traveling. For more episodes and great travel tips, check out his new website. It's wingingittravelpodcast.com. Just like it sounds. The word winging, then travelpodcast.com. You're all about how he's visited 70 plus countries and lived in 5 countries. We've got one more episode with James Hammond of Winging It Travel Podcast.
We've touched down and landed. The episode's done with 5 quick minutes of travel and fun.
This is your captain speaking. We have touchdown. That completes this episode.
Join Forrest Kelly for the next big show. The best 5-minute travel podcast. Let's go. Woo!